Sorry about that. I would like to now invite up today's speaker, our national leader, Hod Ben Zvi.
Good morning, everyone. I think already we received the best news from our true mother. I think I haven't seen her laughing like that so freely. You know, it was, I think Shinjunim's determination was very, very cute, right? He said, you know, like, I'll work hard. You know, it's like supposed to be a happy moment of the matching, but I think it reflects the young heart that really wants to please Heavenly Parent and True Mother. So it's a really beautiful heart, you know. Obviously, he was quite surprised, right, by the news. And it reminds me also back in the days, you know, of our own experiences. Also, it was a surprising gift from heaven. I thought to share a little bit with you about goals today, as we are beginning this 7-year course now, as True Mother mentioned. I want to read just a very short sentence from True Father's words. If an individual cannot recognize that he is responsible for the higher cause, he can never find a happy place where he can live in harmony with others. And I think pretty much we could see, especially in the last part that we saw now with GTG Japan, the heart that True Mother is conveying to all of us. Young and old, we are all young in front of God, right? It's been the oldest one around. We've come to a different age. This is an age filled with hope, and incredible possibilities are open to us. Earlier we sang together the lonely path of the Father, right? And you can think about the lonely path of the Father and the lonely path of the Mother during many, many, many years. Heavenly Parent, lonely path, and the lonely path of True Mother and True Father. At that time, I think it was extremely challenging to see any hope, because around True Parents are only opposition, and the daily experiences of a lot of rejection and misunderstanding. That has been their path, but not one day or 2 days, throughout most of their life, actually. So also, in a way, much of our first experiences when we came to know our true parents was linking to that heart of the sorrowful heart of God. Through true parents, we understood what Heavenly Parent went through in his effort to bring back his children, his lost children, home. And the more we learned about that, the more we prayed about that, and the more we made efforts to reach out, we came closer to understand that loneliness and even bitter feelings that God had, and also True Father and True Mother had, each one on their path and on their mutual path as true parents. The promises for a bright future were always there. We can say that time and again, true parents try to bring a vision, a higher vision of a future of a peaceful world, a world of harmony centering on true love. But for us, it was not easy. to really capture that and to believe in that, because the environment around us and our own personal circumstances internally and externally were very different. When True Father went to Dunbury, at that time, he was encouraging the members. And he said, please don't worry about me. But that wasn't just a saying of just the most courageous person which he was. But it was really his state of mind. When his own personal situation and even providential situation, personal situation because it is difficult for anyone to be incarcerated, or being put in jail, being limited and being separated from his loved one. But also from the point of view of providence, right? He knew that if he is incarcerated, it is like putting the shackles that will slow down the providence. If I compare that to the time of Jesus, we know that when he prayed to God, let this cup pass from me, it was not out of the personal anguish of his own personal difficulties, which were really great and substantial, but he could see the difficulty and the slowdown to God's providence. And he was very concerned about fulfilling that. And he thought, if I go now to the cross, then how long would it take? And how much more suffering God will go through, and how much more suffering also humanity will go through. Right? We can understand it more easy if we think from the point of view of a parent. When a parent knows that he is coming to an age and he has to leave this world, he may have certain, perhaps in a kind of even simplistic sense, worries about himself. But more than that, even in the fallen world, parents would worry about their children. What will happen when I'm gone? Will they be safe? Will they be on the right track? Will the life be happy? Will they be healthy? These are natural concerns of the parent, even though he himself is about to leave to the next world. This is natural. Right? So we understand this kind of parental heart. So in the same sense, when true parents went through these difficulties in their lives, their concern was for God, for providence, what will happen. And in many times in true parents' life also, the difficulties were much too hard to bear in any way you look at that. Not because we try to create a story or to glorify. If you really just read a bit of True Parents' biography, now soon we can read also True Mother's biography, we can see that realistically things were just too much for one person to bear. So what was the power that allowed them to emerge time and again out of difficulties? It had to be something that is more than just strong character or some kind of ability. This came from their deep love for God and for humanity. That's why Father said many times he couldn't let himself pass away when things are so extreme. But he held on to his spirit at a time when normally we let go of our spirit. It's just too much for ourselves. But he held on to it only because something was stronger than the desire of life. That was a desire to love. And the thought and the concern for the future generations to come. I think even Father's passing at the age of 93 was kind of incredible, because everyone that was there said it's like he just didn't let go of his own spirit. I think until the point that spiritually communicating with mother said, it's okay, I'll take full responsibility, you can go. Then he could leave his body. I mean, his spirit. It was such a, if you think about it a little bit. So their lives are teaching us a very fundamental, or giving us the most deepest example of life that is centered on true love. Right? We read the pledge before, centering on true love. But centering on true love is not just a nice idiom. It means that it is the highest, the higher purpose that we live by. Centering on true love. So at the points and junctures in our lives, this is a time of reflection. Like now, right? We are kind of in numerically beginning 2020. It's a time to make a new resolution, right? We can imagine that, whether it's the beginning of new year or beginning of 7-year course, or even beginning of the next 10 years. But what goals should we set? How should we set our goals? When you normally talk to people in general, when they try to set goals, they're related to the personal likings that the person has, right? Many people set their goals according to kind of personal ambition, or even at the family level. Sometimes they want to have something for the family, maybe buying a house or something like that, or advancing in their job, or acquiring a certain assets. And this is considered normal in this world, or isn't it? It's considered pretty normal, right? But the unique example of two parents shows us a setting of goals which is completely in reverse to that. Not starting from myself, my abilities, my likings, or what I want to accomplish in my life. It begins with God. It begins with God. It begins with our own parent. So setting the goals is not dependent upon our particular abilities, circumstances, where we are born, where we are, what is the stage in our life. It depends upon our heavenly parent who have created us out of love. And so if we think from that perspective, and following that short passage we read from True Father, we can never actually achieve our natural desire to live in happiness unless it resonates with the highest goal and the highest ideal that Heavenly Parent has in his heart. If we're not harmonizing with this great vision and plan of God, also our own goals that are pursuing happiness cannot be achieved. Isn't it? So our task is in setting up our goals is to try and to decipher, try and to understand what are Heavenly Parent goals. What is His desire? And if we know that, what will be next? How will that influence our goals? Already we heard from Truma, it said, make God's dream your dream. And your dream is God's dream. And True Parents' dream and humanity dream, all is one. So we understand that the vision of God, already we all study, we all know, the vision is to live in a world of peace, a world of harmony, a world in which we can live centering on true love every day, every minute, every second of our life. This is the vision of God. Can there be any better vision than God's vision for ultimate ideal world, or what we call in our terminology, Chonilguk? It is the most wonderful thing we all strive for. However, we cannot reach there if we start our course by focusing on our own individual goal and development, disattached from the greater vision of God. But isn't that what's taking place in the world? Your mother spoke so beautifully and so clearly. She said, right? She said she's so inspired to see young people that are trying to dedicate their lives at an early stage for the higher purpose. But she said we are realistically much too few. There is 7.7 billion people on Earth. And so we must grow faster if we want to reach all of them with this good news, good message, good path, ultimately blessing, so that they can all become God's direct son and daughter. So we are living in a different age, fundamentally because the accomplishment that have been made by true parents along with us became visible. That's very different than in the past. Any one of you have experienced trying to put a seed in the ground and grow a plant? Have you done that? You have experience? No? I don't know, maybe not in a, you're not farmers, but maybe you have a little put seeds in your own home, you know, trying to grow some plants. Avocado, okay, that's nice. Avocado is a bit different because you're starting with the visible part. But when you put seeds in the ground, there is a period where you see nothing. And you may think, maybe the seed is sleeping. Maybe he will never wake up. There is a period of time, we call it the period of time of faith. You need to keep giving the feeding the plant, praying for your plant, but still you don't see anything, right? It's under the ground. Much of the period of true parents' life, and many of us from our first generation have lived in that kind of period of time where we couldn't see any visible results. The investment was there, you have to till the land, and you have to irrigate the water, and you do many things, but no visible results are coming. Now, I think it is the story of the bamboo, I think, that it takes a very long time, right? And probably there are more kinds of seeds that do not pop up so quickly. We live in an age of instant, right? We want things to be instant. right? If this thing doesn't work in a second, doesn't respond to us, we get really upset, right? Everything has to be instant. No, it's the age of no patience, right? But when you do thumbing, you need to have that patience. Things don't change so quickly. So most of the life we're like that. You invest, and you don't see so much visible results. So the emphasis was on faith, because you needed to sustain yourself before substantial results were visible. So you needed deep faith. You needed the ability to wait, but at the same time keep investing even more without any visible result. Now we crossed over to another age where the seedlings are coming up. If you may, you can see this beautiful young people that are, you're seeing them tears and then desire. These are seedlings. They have not yet gone out to the world to really experience what it means to transform the existing environment. But they have their seedlings. They are filled with desire, hope, with fresh and young hearts. It's very beautiful. It's nice to see a little flower starting, right? It's so exciting. So exciting. But it's a completely different situation where we live at a time where 7 nations have been restored already conditionally. A continent has been restored conditionally. And we see people that can testify to true parents so boldly in front of world leaders with no hesitation. This has not existed before. For if it had, the world would be in a different situation a long time ago. We know 52, last time we heard from Corey, from 1945 to 1952, already the world could have been restored to the levels we're seeing now. Way back there, had at that time, Christianity could have welcomed true parents as a bride. So now we have come to this place where we can see visible things, and all these wonderful and big events that we see are all open to the public. It's not a hidden event. 30,000 people invited to in the US, right? Ministers, religious leaders. What message did true parents gave them? They gave very clear account of the principle, the role of true parents who came on earth, and the need for us to unite with them so that we can expand God's providence and open the path for entire humanity to be liberated. So we are in an age where things begin to be visible. Is it easier to believe when it's visible? It's easier, right? But then we need to think in that case, okay, so the age of faith in the loneliness and darkness, right, is gradually, it doesn't happen in one day. It's gradually turning into the day where we see visible results. Then what will be our mission when the seedling comes? Before we sat and prayed and kept our faith, now they're starting to come up. So what shall we do? Good idea. The last few days, God heard your prayer. There was a lot of water coming, right? Yeah. We need to cultivate. We need to raise up. We need to raise up humanity so that they can come to their true and natural position as God's sons and daughters. So it is easier when we can show them visible results. It's not only a theory, I would say, intangible future, but kind of tangible we can show, right? But our calling at this time is to expand. There is a time when we have to put our roots very deep and wait for a long time and sustain ourselves in the harsh winter. But when it coming out, this is a time when we need to kind of speed up the task. It's a time of growth. It's a time of expansion. It's a time of harvest. That's why if we listen to the words of True Mother, she said, you know, express yourself. Share with people. They need to know. They need to know that each and every person have a direct path to connect to God as his parent. This is open for everyone, regardless of what background, culture, race, religion they come from. It's open for everyone. This is our mission. These is our brothers and sisters. These are brothers and sisters, right? So we need to reach out to them and to give them an opportunity. How to do that? This remains as our own creativities and abilities and ideas together with God. It can take various different forms, whether through teaching or through celebration or whatever form and shape it takes. But they need to be given the opportunity to connect to God directly at this age. What I wanted to share with you is the thought that at this time, we try to connect to God and connect our personal goals to that desire of God to become part of this age and of God's most central plans to take part in that, to be in the mainstream. We can always take the side seat, you know, sit and watch and wait. Well, let's wait a little bit until the world is restored a bit more, and then I will jump in, you know. But that's less exciting and less possible if we know the heart of God. It's always an urgent heart. When you have small children, do you take interest in their development? Yeah, or you say, well, Nita is just too small. I'll check back on you 5 years from now. Or you want to be part of his growth. If you're part of his growth, you might be involved in diaper changing and toilet training and other parts. But they're all part of love because we're growing together. So we cannot wait until the world will fix itself. It will happen. The world is going to change absolutely, because a certain turning point, which is so fundamental, have already taken place. Most fundamentally, 1960, two parents were established. That can never be erased, can never be changed, no matter what happens. From that moment on, if you will, you can say as a matter of time, the world is going to be restored. But our approach is out of love and being children of true parents, we want to hasten the past. We want to be involved in the process of letting all people living on earth experience it now, not in hundreds of years from now, right? True Mother keeps saying, while I am alive. And she said, I feel 10 years younger. Whom she is encouraging? It's for us, right? To give us hope. But the transition point is where we can take responsibility to the extent that true parents, true mother, don't need to lead in the way she did until now. If we can really open the path for humanity to connect to true parents, then the burden that they carry is being lessened, right? If you see somebody older than you carrying something heavy, wouldn't it be like your natural inclination to help that person? How much more when we see two parents, right? we should have that heart not only to marvel at their victory, but to think responsibly as growing, as mature human being, that we need to take part in it. And taking part in the process, of course, entails efforts, creative thinking, physical effort, our time, many things. But we are becoming one with them, not just professing in a, like in traditional religion, you just profess the name, but through doing. This is the age of attendance, right? The attendance is like substantially working together. It's different than just saying, I believe, but then I go my own path, or I do my own thing. Attending means that the plan of God, the plan of true parents, and our plan are same. So then you say, but I don't have the same ability as others. Okay? Maybe some of you can dance. Some of you can sing. You have different abilities. Some of you can do math very well. Some of you can cook very well. Is it relevant? It's relevant when it is part of this plan of God. If we all do our best following that expectation from God, then wonderful things happen. As a whole, we are able to accomplish enormously huge things. If you really look seriously at the number of people active in our movement worldwide, what do you think? It's tens of millions? Millions of active members? Maybe thousands would be a better number. The world is talking about billions, right? But still, so much can be accomplished because of the presence of God, because of the guidance of true parents, and we align with them. So we have to make the effort to tune in and not to be distracted by the clutter, by the background noise. There's a lot of background noise, right? The background noise is what is happening around. Here in Israel, we have election, we have the issue with Iran. There's many things that are all real. But are they centered on the core of God's vision for the world? What do you think? Have you heard that from the external leaders that are leading? Say, I pray to God deeply, and that's what I feel that our nation should do, or, right? Is this the feeling? When you hear things that are divisive, that are conflictual, automatically you know that it's lacking the connection to God. So we must connect to that core of heart that seeks to bring true harmony, centering on true love, and bring this world together as one family under God. We may repeat those words many times until maybe we forget their essence, but their essence is fantastic. Isn't it a beautiful dream to make it one family under God? Isn't it wonderful? We can gather here as a family with different backgrounds, even different languages, but we can gather as a family. Shouldn't that be the standard for all people? What do we want for other people? Some personal gain for ourselves at their expense? The opposite. We want to give everyone the path where they can become free and liberated and freely to express their love and to experience their love. So let's set our goals centering upon what God wants to accomplish. And within that plan of what true parents are directing us to do, find our respective part. There's so many different ways we can contribute. Not only one way, not only one activity. But that should be the root of what is guiding our lives. That should be our highest ambition. To make someone happy. Who is that someone? God. Make God happy. Isn't it simple? If this is the goal of our life, the purpose of our life, to make God happy, then would we be naturally following true parents? Yes. And what will happen to us? What about my happiness? I have to sacrifice everything to be a miserable person throughout my life? No! I'll be the happiest person if I fulfill God's hope. Because I will be connecting to my ideal self. So this must be the prime thing. So coming back to the funny determination that Shinchul Nin made, right? He said, I'll do my best, he's standing next to his, future, heavenly wife. And then said, I'll do my best. It's kind of very cute. It's almost like determination, to climb a mountain or something. He's not saying, I'll be happy with you, and I'll love her forever. It wasn't like that. It wasn't that kind of romantic declaration. Why? Mother was laughing. But what do you think? Did he say something right or wrong? Right. It is like climbing a mountain too. To harmonize, centering on God, is not a simple task. So he was, of course, embarrassed. It's kind of, you put a young person there in front of so many people that he doesn't know even personally everyone. And, what are you supposed to say? You're just being matched to someone. But I think his intuition was right. And it's a determination because he did it centering upon what your mother gave him. He didn't look around by himself, centering upon what will fit his liking. He accepted what God and two parents have prepared for him and prepared for him together with his future spouse for the sake of humanity. So he knows. Not a simple thing for a young person, right, to stand there. But this is the way we should live our lives. Our life should be meaningful for God. Meaningful for true parents who raise us up as God's children. And through the blessing, giving us an opportunity to be called God's sons and daughters. So let's begin this year with this kind of mindset. Looking at the future of what we can do to make God happy. What we can do to lessen the burden of true parents. The first 7 years, mother took the lead. Why not we take the lead now in the next 7 years? And just bring accomplishment to true mother. Look, mother, we did this and we did that. Will she be happy? Will she say, no, I have to do it by myself? I think the happiness of parents when they see their children going beyond them and doing more, isn't it? So if we do more, greater things, we can say, true mother, please, you don't need to travel so much. Please travel when you like to, of course, but you don't need to make a crazy schedule. You can travel a little bit more ease and come and visit and see our accomplishments. That would be wonderful. So this is the Hyojong heart that we need to develop. The heart that want to make God happy, they want to make true parents happy, they want to take care of humanity. And along the way, also our own development happens. We expand our capacity. We develop ourselves. We receive more guidance from God. more know-how. Even if you like to use that word, you can say even more heavenly energy. But that to come from alignment with that dream. This is our lifetime on earth. We have what, 100 years in average to live on earth? Why not we live for the highest purpose, which is to directly support the Messiah while the Messiah is on earth? Perhaps in the future, I can imagine in 200, 300 years from now, when the world is really restored and the standard of education is so wonderful and the world has completely been transformed, then we might have great ambitions for developing science and going to the next planets and doing many amazing things in art. I think that will be appropriate at that time. But we are still in a different time when the majority of the people in this world are still not in the realm of the blessing. So that should become our natural focus, to be the ones who can make that transition and open the path for future people to develop based on their abilities and creativity and so on. This is the time where we live in. So I don't know if it'll take, 2-3 generations more for making that transition really kind of complete. But that's what we need to do. In historical times, it's not a long time span. 100 years now we are celebrating of the Messiah on earth. 77 years for True Mother, right? So we have true parents on earth and the holy blessing, 60 years. It seemed to be long, but in a historical perspective, it's a very short time span. So, right? But this is the time of a complete transformation of all of human history. So we live in this time. So we need to kind of listen to the calling of God at this time. So our life can be relevant, right? And can make God happy. So let's make that determination. In Israel here, let's take very seriously our determination for restoration of the nation. Regardless of the number of people, It's where our heart is, in where we want. Then, God is with us. He wants to see the nation restored. In the 24th of this month, we want to celebrate True Parents' birthday based upon majority of people that perhaps know very little about True Parents. But this is an effort. It's a starting point. We're beginning. This whole year we want to celebrate many times. It's not only this time, yeah? It's a beginning process. We want to expand. We want to bring the message. Surely the people that come there will not fully understand. I think when we came for some event and to, have a good time, whatever. But that's okay. We are starting. We're bringing, first you bring people to the birthday party and they just come for the cake. We're going to have another birthday party today, but that's later. So we bring the people to experience something, but we think about them as children, right? You bring them and let them feel happy first. Most children, I don't know, I haven't been in children's birthday party in a long time, but do you think that most children, when they come to a birthday party, they are looking for the parents of the child and said, we want to really thank you for raising that child and taking care of him? Actually, I don't want to bring present to the child. I want to bring present to you, the parent, because you... Not so much, right? No. Okay. Thank you, Miki, for supporting, because I don't have experience. Yeah. Right? It's pretty much centering right upon the fun of the children coming and thinking, what, how can we enjoy ourselves in that party? But education-wise, we need to take it. We need to take an opportunity. When the children are there, we need to, a little bit let them understand something about the reason we are there to celebrate. Okay, so there's different ways, different angles we can do. We'll try, we'll pioneer, we'll research, we'll find a way. But we want to make that, part of the condition for national restoration is not only a blessing and a summit, is also celebrating two parents' birthday as a national holiday. This is one of the conditions. So we need to work on that. We need to make it known that celebrating for two parents is a natural thing to do. It's part of a national holiday. Yeah? So that's why we want to kind of put our foot in the door and say, okay, we want to start. Okay. So brothers and sisters, I think we are going to close here. And I'm really so grateful to see your mother very healthy and very happy. And as she said, feeling younger, because we can invigorate your mother through our good response. But let's think as growing children, as more responsible ones, how we can more better align our personal goals and our wishes with those of Heavenly Parent and true parents. And naturally, our life can go on the right track, on the right course. Okay, so please stay tuned and focused. Now our mobilization team is working hard to bring people. How many now? We have 140, more than 140. So more than 140 people already are planned to come. Yeah, 170. So it's amazing, amazingly. And yeah, so please also your prayer and make some effort. If you have contacts and friends, try to invite. We want to reach 400. So it's a high goal, but numbers are coming because of that effort. So God is truly supporting in many ways, but your prayers and efforts are very much needed and your direct support. So thank you very much. We'll close at this point. Give it back to our...
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Hod, for your words of wisdom today. I hope I can live by that now. I'll do my best. I'd like to now, we can start singing a song number 10 for our closing. I would like to ask if Corey could pray. Great, thank you. Shisha. Now I have come to know, I've truly come to know, Father, how your heart is filled with tears. For your altar stands and waits for an offering never made. He cries through all the ages, for still no offering comes. Our Father cries in loneliness, for he cannot share his heart. Now I have come to know, I have truly come to know, Father, now I know your blessed grace. For you raised me from the darkness and gave to me new life. I live and stand before you, but now you cry again. My Father has to say to me, go and die now in my place. Now pledging I will go, determined I will go. Father, now I'm changing to your way. For no other will I follow, my Father's way. Upon your waiting altar, I kneel without a word. My life shall be the sacrifice I will faithfully obey.
Let's join me in prayer. Our dearest, most beloved Heavenly Parent, dearest true parents, we are most grateful to be here today and to conclude today's Saturday service. Thank you for your words today, given by our national leader. We really pray for our true mother's health and good condition, and we're so happy and encouraged to see her coming back safely after the long 40-day tour, which she was most active and almost didn't have any time to rest, and she could bring this amazing, glorious success on behalf of all of us, actually, as an offering in front of you, and bringing the most big accomplishments of offering 7 nations symbolically, and also the region of Africa as providential success. And really, even now, she's coming back, and she wants to just encourage us as we start this new year of 2020. Before we're coming into the celebrations of 6 years since True Parents' holy marriage, and 100 years to True Father, and 77 years since True Mother's birth. And I think at this time, it's really a good time to have also good reflection, but to make strong determination and to move on forward from this day on, from this year, and to set our goals, to align our life where the starting point should always be with you and with True Parents, with your vision and goal. And I pray that we can truly do that, but also do it happily, understanding that is the right way for us to reach the highest happiness in our life, and to understand that without you, our life is completely empty. It's just an empty shell. So I pray that as we move forward from this day on, as we reach also the near events that are coming up also on the 24th of this month, and as we're heading towards the big event of that is coming up in Korea, I pray that we can align ourselves, and that we can truly also rejoice together with you as we're offering very successful and very happy offering, and we can all rejoice together. And thanks to our True Parents' amazing life course, which they completely put so many seeds in the ground throughout their lives, we can really see them blooming at this time and coming out. And this is really the time to rejoice, but to also pull our sleeves up and to go into this mainstream of really taking part in building this new world, this era of Chanilguk, to really substantializing your dream that you have been waiting for so long. And it is our duty as filial sons and daughters, and as your big family, to make that dream come true as soon as possible, and to take an active role in it. So thank you for your message today, and I pray we can all take it to heart, be encouraged, be happy, pray for our True Parents, for our True Mother, and we're most grateful for this opportunity. So thank you for everything, and we want to offer all this on behalf of everyone here, and in the names of Red Shimokabedi, Korban Setrabas couple. Adieu.
Thank you. Let's continue with unison prayer. 몸에도 쏘는 동기 이모소 받쳐서 동기오라 이 곁에 사는 동기 이 나라 자는데 동길이 오소 동길이 오라. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming today. Thank you very much, everyone on Zoom, for also joining us. Do we have any announcements? We have one very big, huge announcement. Today is our wonderful brother Dimitri's birthday. So we'd like to celebrate after this with some nice cake and coffee. And we have Peter. If you would like to come up and introduce yourself, our wonderful brother. גם בעברית. בעברית זה גם טוב.
Меня зовут Питер. Я с Украины, я здесь живу 2 года, 2,5. Познакомился с рухом, движением в Украине, проходил команду украинскую, да. И сейчас живу здесь, в Израиле. Да, очень нравится. Так.
Yes, let's move. Yes. Okay, celebration and then celebration. Okay, fantastic. Okay, thank you very much, everyone on Zoom, for joining us this time. Have a wonderful week, and we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.